All right, I'm going live. Hello? Okay, I'm trying to stream from my laptop, so if there's anybody watching, I apologize for the weirdness. Um, it seems like there's at least 3 people here right now checking us out. If you guys are watching this right now, please give the live a like and share it. Let's get more people in here. Um, I wanted to make a couple of announcements before we get into it. I don't have a voice, as you can hear, and I'm joined by Keith Norris from the Live and Level Gamers podcast. He's going to help me kind of talk about the demo since I don't have a voice, and he's also had a chance to play it. Levelhead has also had a chance to play it. I was hoping I could get Levelwood in here, but you know, Love was probably preoccupied doing family things and whatnot. But oh my God, y'all. Metroid Prime 4 is real. It's a real thing. Like, oh my God. Like, I just want to say this before I kind of go into it. When I finished playing the demo, I was literally shaking. I was literally I was literally shaking. Um, I know I talked to Keith earlier this morning, and he was telling me about how. Where did you go, Keith? Where did you go? So, yeah, so he was telling me about how he went to Best Buy to play the demo. And I just wanted to preface, y'all can hear my voice. I'm going to preface this with I have not been feeling well. And I have, of course, because I have been feeling well, just kind of like lying around my house and not really doing a whole lot. But this morning I did feel a little bit better. But when he told me that he had just played the demo, I immediately put on some clothes, some decent clothes, and got in my car and see for myself. Um, but I did want to play something for you guys, something that you guys probably remember from my channel in 2017 when this game was. Oh, no, 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 I didn't mean to do that. Oh, sorry, y'all. I know that was super loud. Let me turn that down. I wanted to kind of talk a little bit too about my journey with this game in particular. So, to those of you guys who have been watching my channel for a very long time, you know that I am a Metroid fan. I'm probably not as big of a Metroid fan as a lot of you, but Metroid is definitely one of my favorite Nintendo franchises. Um, and for me, I've definitely enjoyed my time with the Prime series. I definitely remembered how long of a hiatus, the Metroid Prime series went on. I mean, Metroid series in general. We waited forever for Dread 2. And just remembering what it felt like when we found out that this was something that they were actually developing. And a lot of people were talking mad trash about me for being excited about a JPEG. But I'm going to show y'all this video of my excitement. I'm going to try to turn it down a little bit so it's not like blowing you guys' eardrums out. But I want to show you guys just how excited I was for this announcement. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play it now. And let me fix my volume. All right. So if you're listening with headphones, just caution. Take precaution. All right, so I'm going to play the video. Listen.
Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
I'm still smiling because of Kirby. Like it's going down.
All right, bye bye, bye bye, polite Japanese man.
Much talking. Come on, let's
Okay,
go.
here we go. Here we go.
Here
We
we
got
go,
some
something
fucking
good.
action. Let's see. What is this?
This is Metroid.
Y'all be getting away.
It's Metroid.
Please, Metroid, please.
It is
It's
Metroid.
Metroid. It's Metroid.
Prime 4.
Yep. It's Metroid. It's Metroid.
I'm gonna bring you back to reality now.
Just tell us that the thing exists.
There was no release year. They're just letting you know they're working on it. That is at least 3 years out. Hey, we got a Yoshi game.
So as you can see, this was a very excited Nia in 2017 just off of a JPEG. Just knowing that this game was in development, just knowing that this game exists. And I have the pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, of playing Metroid Prime 4 today. But
Let's go.
yes. So Keith and I both had a chance to play it. Keith, do you want to kind of, since you had a chance to play it before me, and you had a chance to kind of play it in a different form factor than I did, do you want to give some of your thoughts about the game?
Yeah. I want to do something before we do that. Last night we got a chance to play Metroid Prime. I think I think we're both in a Metroid mood right now.
Yes,
So was right on. So we're playing the game. We both got body. We hadn't played Metroid Prime in a body.
I
Um,
know.
um, so yeah, I woke up this morning and saw people were playing it. Metroid Prime. What was at Target, a local Walmart. Didn't even see the buy. I gambled and went out.
Your
I know
audio
got
is
my
cutting
clothes.
in and out a little bit, Keith. I think something
Is
might
it?
be going on with the sensitivity of your mic.
Tell you what, I can switch to. I'm not on my computer. I'm on my headset.
Oh, I got you.
I can switch computer real quick. Bear with me, y'all.
Yeah, so I don't know if y'all heard any of that, but basically he was saying that he woke up this morning and he saw that some people on Twitter were posting about them being able to play the demo at different stores today. Um, I think one of the people that he shared with me was playing it at Walmart, and then some others were playing it at Best Buy. So Keith had a chance to play it at Best Buy, and I had a chance to play it at Walmart.
I'm back, by the way.
Okay, he there said your audio's a little low, so I'm gonna bring Keith up a little bit. All right,
What about now?
how does Keith sound to you guys now?
Testing, testing. Well, just let me know, and I'll just keep going. So,
Okay,
uh, as she mentioned, yes, I got a chance to go to Best Buy. So I went to Best Buy this afternoon, and I wasn't expecting to see it because we're always the last ones to get things, and I was like, yeah, it's not gonna be in there. So I go back there, nobody's at the kiosk, and lo and behold, Metroid Prime 4 demo is available on the Switch 2 at my local Best Buy. Unfortunately, at my local Best Buy, I didn't have the luxury of playing on the TV. So it was just all handheld mode. But I don't care. Metroid Prime 4 is here, baby. Let's go. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
my
That's
gosh.
me. I'm in go mode. So I boot up the game, and essentially it's the demo that we saw at the treehouse. That's
Mhm.
what the demo is. So now I get a chance to play it, and I'm playing in handheld mode. It's running buttery smooth. The graphics, for what I can tell, because the screen was a little dirty, you can tell people that came in and they played on it or whatever, and you could kind of see the reflection from the overhead lights. But regardless, you can still see the game. And I played it in handheld mode, and it felt great. Um, I don't know how most people hold their Switch. You know, I had mainly all three fingers from each hand on the back of it, just to kind of prop it up and have the keep it stable. But like I said, it was basically the demo. The controls were, you know, you got to get used to Metroid when it comes to controls, because they're always doing things. But it felt very similar to Metroid Prime Remaster. They mapped the scan visor on the X button, so you got to get used to that. But
Yeah, that definitely
pretty
took some getting used to for me.
right. So, but essentially everything else was the same. The missiles are in the same spot. The scanning is in the same spot. The shooting, the morph ball, the speed boost, because you still have your speed boost in the morph ball. So I was just playing around with a little bit of everything. What I will say is that the final boss, I've seen this boss fight so many times. So I've seen it so many times from the treehouse. I've seen other people post their images of it. It doesn't play like what I thought it played. I'm not gonna say what you thought, but it didn't play like I thought I was gonna play. I thought I was gonna just be able to just hit the targeting button, and Samus is just gonna automatically target each orb. She does not do that. What Samus does do, she targets the creature, and you have to manually move your arm cannon to each orb. So the portion when the boss begins to move the shields up and down, and then he kind of like once you target one and you start firing, then he'll move it. That was a little tricky. I'm not even gonna lie, Nia. I don't know if you felt the same, but that was a little tricky because not only is he doing that, he's still shooting at you, and he's doing that big wall of energy, and you got to either jump over it or dodge or whatever. I mean, do the morph ball.
Yeah.
But that was a little different. So if that was the precursor to what we're going to be getting in the game, I see a lot of challenges in this game moving forward. So I was very excited about that. I only played the demo once. I didn't run it back. But Nia, you got a chance to play it on TV. So
Yes.
how was your
Okay.
experience?
So here's one thing that I do want to point out before I do talk about my experience with the demo. So before I had a chance to play the demo, there was a family ahead of me. So they looked like they were older people. So I think that these were grandparents with their grandkids. And it was two little boys. The older boy looked like he might have been maybe like 10, and the younger boy looked like he might have been like 6 or 7. And they were hovering around the Nintendo Switch 2 kiosk and showing their grandparents, like, hey, like, Papa, look, like, Nana, look,
That's
like,
crazy.
this is the Switch 2, like, this is it, this is it, this is it. So, like, they were, like, investigating it and looking at it and all. And,
I should have asked
they
you.
noticed, like, oh my God, look, we can play these games here. So they were like, I don't know if you guys have had a chance to see the kiosk or pictures of it or anything, but when you go up to the kiosk, there's pictures of Nintendo Switch games, Nintendo Switch 2 games specifically, and you kind of like sift through the menu. Some of the games have a demo, and a lot of the other ones don't. Like Metro Prime 4 had a demo. Um, Donkey Kong had a demo. Mario
That's
Kart
crazy.
World had a
Te lo
demo,
llevaste a cenar,
and then
¿no? Ya ves
also
cuando nos
Hyper
tratamos de
Warriors
notar.
had a demo. And so they were sifting through the menus on the screen, and the older boy decided to click on Metroid. And this is going to be important because I do have a little tangent that I want to say about this before we close. Remember those little boys who, out of all of those games, chose to play Metroid Prime for me.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so I'm waiting my turn, just looking at the Xbox section, the PlayStation section, all of the Nintendo Switch games and accessories, just waiting until I have an opportunity to play it for myself. But I'm still kind of keeping an ear out just to kind of gauge like what the perception of these kids, um, like what's their perception of this game. Anyway, they really liked what they saw. They were really wowed by it. Of course, they couldn't beat the big boss, the big one with the growths on his arms and his chest from the Metroids or the Metroids or whatever. They couldn't get past that part. They were really invested in what they saw. But anyway, and anyhow, so this family, they leave after the kids couldn't beat the boss, and they went over to the game over screen. They moved on, and I was able to play it for myself. So, unlike Keith, I actually was able to play. Um, I actually was able to play it on a TV. So luckily, Walmart came in clutch once again. So those of you guys who saw my unboxing video when I did get my Nintendo Switch 2, you would know they delivered my Nintendo Switch 2 early in the morning with snacks. They came in so clutch with the Nintendo Switch 2 system itself. They also came in clutch again with the demo. They had it on the screen. You could choose between the Pro controller and the Joy Cons attached to the Joy-Con. What do you call that? The little attachment. I don't remember what it's called, but you could
The
choose
Joy-Con
between
grip.
those. Yeah, the Joy-Con grip. So you could
Yeah.
choose between the Pro controller and then the Joy-Con grip. So of course I chose the Pro controller. So I'm playing through the game, and like Keith is saying, excuse me, let me take a drink.
Yeah, you gotta keep
So
that
like Keith
voice
is
moist.
saying, I'm sorry.
So yeah, you gotta keep that voice moist.
I know, right? You funny for that. Oh my God.
Nothing dry out here, Nia. We don't do.
Bro, what? No, you're funny for that. Okay, so of course I chose the Pro controller, right? But I'm playing this game, and like Keith
Focus.
said, I'm trying to focus. You funny. It's the same demo from the Treehouse footage that we saw back in April.
Yep.
So you're starting with this big war between the Galactic Federation and the space pirates. Samus is in her gunship. She's coming down to the planet. She jumps out looking all heroic and awesome as she does. And then
Mm-hmm.
of course, you're going towards the space station or whatever. And you're fighting with the space pirates until you basically get to the giant space pirate that merges with the Metroids or Metroids or whatever you call it or whatever. So after that, of course, just like in the demo that we saw from April, um, the Silex and his Metroids come into the building. Silex shoots at you, misses you, accidentally hits the um, artifact, and then of course that's the end of the demo. Nintendo said thank you for playing, right? So I want to start first with the controls because I want to touch on something that Keith said earlier about the controls. Okay, the controls do feel a lot like Metroid Prime Remastered in the sense where you do have the option to play with modern dual stick controls, which was what it was set to the default of. Like Keith said, you use X to pull up the different visors. It was really good. That boss actually was challenging.
Right. It was actually
Like
challenging.
he actually managed to bring down one of my energy tanks. If you're not too careful, it'll definitely get you. But I I I, I honestly do kind of have sort of a critique for that. I do. In my If y'all don't remember this boss, it's effectively the same boss like that first opening boss for Metroid Prime 3, if y'all remember that. Um and like it's like the boss has like the growths under his armpits and like on his chest. And one thing that I noticed with that boss in particular when trying to target like the growths or whatever on his body, it didn't really feel as intuitive as I hoped it would. It almost felt like in that particular portion of the game, the Z targeting was kind of working against me. At least that's how I felt.
That's crazy.
It kind of felt like it was like working against me, like I kind of had to fight with it. Or maybe I just needed to play more. Maybe it was the adrenaline. I don't know. But I do hope that when the real game comes out, that the targeting and the lock is more intuitive than what it felt like in the demo. I don't know how you feel about that in particular.
So
Maybe it's a me thing.
I wanted to. So you said you feel like it was working against you. In what way?
Yes,
What are you explaining a
because
little
it,
bit?
because like when I would target the enemy, it feels like I have to work harder to target those particular points in his body. Like when I would
Right.
lock
That's
onto the
crazy.
enemy, it would just lock on him, not necessarily lock on the growths on his body. So in some ways, I kind of felt like the lock feature was kind of working against what I was trying to do. But at the same time,
Hmm.
like I said, maybe it's just a skill issue.
Yeah, I think
Maybe,
I think that's definitely by design. I think that's where the difficulty for me, anyways. That's where the difficulty was, and that's what I was talking about. Like, it targets just the body, and then you gotta manually target each orbs, which makes it difficult. And I think, like I said, I think they did it by design because I
right.
think I was telling you that motion controls are on by default. So
Motion. Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay.
the
I
motion
didn't
controls
notice
are on by
that.
default. Yeah.
That might be
So
what
I
I was experiencing then.
so I wonder when we get the actual build, because on these demos you can't go into the menus and change configurations. You have to play what they have for you. So I
Right,
wonder if once we actually get the game, will that be like the demo? Could we actually move it around?
right.
So
I'm pretty sure it will be because I also, as you mentioned earlier, you and I have recently been playing Metroid Prime Remastered, and that game has many control schemes that could suit pretty much any type of player, even those of
right.
us who like the Wii controls. There is an option to have those type of controls as well.
This is true.
But
They actually still name it Wii mode, I think.
I love that. But I will say, other than the little hiccups that I had with the locking feature, the controls feel tight, they feel snappy, they make sense. Um, and it feels like Metroid. I know there's a lot of people out there who are skeptical about the direction of Metroid Prime 4 and skeptical about the direction of Metroid Prime 4. But from what I've played of this demo and pretty much everything that I've seen of this game, it feels like Metroid. It really does.
1000%.
Um, yeah. But I did want to talk also about the graphics and the performance. I know that Keith had a different experience than me since he only had an option of playing handheld. I got a chance to play it on TV, and I'm gonna be honest, it wasn't blowing me off. It wasn't blowing my socks off. Um, Now that's not to say the game doesn't look good. I think the game looks clean. It looks crisp. The art style is beautiful, but it just wasn't popping off the screen like I was hoping that it would. But I also think that the TV that Walmart was using just wasn't a very good TV. Um, my eyes are not as good as Keith's eyes, but
That's
I
funny.
could tell. It didn't seem to be 4K. I didn't notice any HDR if it was on. Um, I think that when I bring this game home and I hook it up to my own personal TV, I think it's gonna look a lot better. But the TV that they were using at Walmart, it just kind of seemed like like a TV that they pulled out from the back and they just hooked it up, you know. Um,
One
but
thing I
like I
want to
said,
say,
huh?
one thing I want to do say about that is that it didn't pop off the screen for me as well. Like you just mentioned, I'm playing handheld, but I do think that we've seen this demo so much that it's possible that it's kind of become a norm for you to see these screens.
That's a
So
good point.
maybe your brain has like regulated to see what you've seen and it just doesn't hit the same. But then again, I can't wait till you get it home to see if your
If my
feelings about that
TV
is,
makes a difference,
yeah,
yeah,
I want to see if it's different.
I think it's gonna look beautiful on my TV personally. Um, on my TV at home, but I say all of that to say it is a great looking game. You could still very much tell it's a Switch One game, but that's not really saying anything bad. There's a lot of good looking, in my opinion. There's still a lot of good looking Switch One games, and this is one of those. Um, as far as the performance is concerned, buttery smooth, buttery smooth. Now, Keith, can you tell me? Could you tell since you were playing in handheld mode? Could you tell what the frame rate was in your version of the game? Because I know the handheld version could do 1080, 120 frames.
Correct. I couldn't. If it was doing 1080, 120 frames, it it just felt extremely one to one. If that makes sense, like
Yeah,
everything that I was doing was responsive. Every move, any mistake that I made, anything that I was doing was straight up me. So there were no hiccups.
That's crazy.
Like I said, it like you said, it just ran so buttery smooth. I don't know what frame it was running, and to be perfectly honest with you, anything above 60 is kind of lost on me. Like
yeah,
60 is great, but it was locked. Whatever it was running, it was locked and it was perfect. It
yeah.
was literally perfection.
Oh, it was so good. It was so good. And I just want to say it's so good to see Silence.
I like his design here.
Say what?
I said I like his design here.
Oh, his design is fantastic. It's
Yeah.
so good to see him in HD.
That's
I
crazy.
was really hoping that this game would have like some secret multiplayer, but I don't think that's gonna be the case. But who knows? Maybe they'll add it down the line. I mean, how can you
Federation Force
have one
2?
of the what is it?
I said Federation Force 2.
Oh
They
my
already
god!
they already building up the Federation Force. You can play as Miles now.
You know what? Speaking of Miles, since we're here, we're not gonna be on too much longer, y'all. But I want to say this because this brings me back to my point about the little boys who were playing before me, right?
Oh
So
yeah.
these little boys obviously don't
That's
already have a Switch
crazy.
2. They're probably talking to their parents about a gift that they want for the holidays and how they want to play this game and it looks like this. So they make sure that their granddaddy and their grandmama get the right box. Don't give me no
Exactly.
Switch 1, Paw. I want the Switch 2.
But to be fair, he can still play Metroid. But yeah. I want the Switch too.
You say what?
I said to be fair, he can still play Metroid.
They can. They can. They sure can. But what it was giving was that I don't know if they already knew about Metroid Prime 4 coming in, but what it was giving to me from what I observed is
That's
that
crazy.
they were looking at the Switch 2. They were showing their grandparents, hey, this right here, this is the Switch 2. Look, it's the new one. It's the new one. And then they went and they're like, oh, we could play something. So the
Mm.
10-year-old clicks Metroid. And the little brother's like, oh my God, yay, that looks cool, yay. And the big boy is like, oh, let's play this, let's play this. So they're going through the game, little boy, the 10-year-old is like, oh my God, wow, like he's struggling a little bit. And the little one, like the 5 and 6-year-old or however old he was, he's younger. It's like, oh my God, that's so cool. Look, look, look. Oh my God, look. Wow. They are
That's
just
crazy.
blown away.
Right.
They're blown away by what they see. And I say all of this to say, I know that Metroid is not everybody, not for everybody. I have been one of those people who has been unpopularly saying, listen, Metroid is gonna do what it do. It's not gonna appeal to everybody. It's not quote unquote fun. It's not a fun quote unquote game. It's not. It is what it is. It's Metroid. It only appeals to a certain demographic of people. And um, in some ways, I'm a little bit of a purist. I did not really like the motorcycle.
That's
I'm
crazy.
gonna be honest. I didn't like Viola because I was like, look at them pandering to normies. How dare they? But then I had to sit back and then I had to think to myself, an old head,
Yeah.
an old head.
We are. We are.
My opinion don't matter. And a lot of people have been making a big to do about Miles McKenzie. And don't get me wrong, I think Miles McKenzie's a cute little guy. I like cute little nerdy guys, but I understand that's not the majority of
That's
people.
crazy.
And he doesn't bother me.
Doesn't bother
But
me
it's
either.
a, yeah, I know he doesn't bother Keith either. But I say all of this to say, when I think about Miles McKenzie, I take myself out of it and I think about my niece. My niece is 9 years old. My niece has watched me play video games since she came into this world. She's watched me play Zelda. She's watched me play Dragon Quest. She's watched me play Metroid. And she's getting to that age now where she wants to do it too. She's like, Nani, I want to play Link. I want to be Link too. She wants to play Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom.
That's
The next
crazy.
time she comes up here, I might actually let her do it now that she's older. When she was younger, I was like, no, you can't play this. It's too hard for you. When I'm playing Metroid, Nani, I want to play her. Oh, she's a girl in there. She knows it because she's in Smash Brothers. And I let her know, like, did you know that she's a girl? She's a girl like me. I want to play her. I want to be her. My niece is 9 years old. Those little boys I saw at Walmart today, they look like they might have been 10 years old, 7 years old. Miles McKenzie is not for me. McKenzie is for my niece.
Yep.
Miles McKenzie is for those little boys at Walmart. Miles McKenzie are for those people who don't have a history, a 20-year history with Metroid. And I think that sometimes as old heads, we get in this mode where we're just like, this thing sucks unless it's exactly like what I played 20 years ago.
Preach.
And I think sometimes we have to step aside and remember, like, my age group, we're phasing out. New hardcore gamers are in their 20s. They're in their teenage years. Yes, we still have a place in this market. Yes, we should also still be marketed to. But we old. I don't really know how else to expound it. I'm gonna give it to Keith. But I don't really know what else to say. I look at those little boys and it made me remember this is why Miles McKenzie exists. That little boy died to a space pirate. This is
Did he
why Miles
really?
McKenzie exists.
Did he really?
Yes.
Oh wow. So that's crazy. Just sit back thinking about that. But if you heard me on the Live Level Gamers podcast every Thursday night at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm sorry, shameless plug.
No, go ahead and plug.
I had mentioned that my kids were playing Animal Crossing. And for the longest time, I thought that they were going to be like me. They like action games. They want to play all the shooty, jumping, hack and slash, whatever. But they're they're not on that. You know, they've tried to play Metroid Prime Remaster. Like I'd hand one the controller and he would shoot, but when it came down to a space pirate, kind of like what you were just saying, they would hand me the controller back. Like, hey, I don't want to do this part. Can you do this part? And then I'll do more of the exploration and stuff like that. I don't want to fight. That's my kids. And I was shocked to see that, because they're my oldest is 9. And Nia is right. The Miles McKenzie, uh, also you can turn off the chatter if you didn't know that,
Yes, you
but
can.
you can turn off chatter when you get your game. But that character is for other people to get into a game that you love, so they can start loving it. Then they may go back to remaster, or they may go back to the other Metroid games and say, "Oh, I can play this now. Oh, this is the game that I was missing, or the game that I put down because I was confused." I know people right now. Matter of fact, Nia, I'm gonna use you as an example. When we were talking yesterday, you were saying I don't even remember where I was in the remaster or what I was doing, and I was there trying to help you kind of navigate through that area. I was your Miles McKenzie,
That's
right?
right.
And because something you get lost in these games, and that's what a lot of people like. But a lot of people get turned off by that, and they don't even want to touch a Metroid game because they don't want to get lost. So, yes, for those little kids dying to space pirates, my kids didn't want to fight a space pirate. Miles McKenzie is for them to keep them engaged. Then once that, I'm assuming because I haven't played the game past that point, but I'm assuming once you get past that point, Miles is not doing that anymore. He's done his job. Now he's just a background character, I would assume. So I think people should just calm down, chill, wait for your own experience, see how Miles actually interacts with the player, newcomers, yourself, and I guarantee you, there's going to be so much isolated Metroid because they notice that that's what you want. How do you know that that's what you want? Because they allow you to turn off the chatter. They know what you want, but they also have to bring in new people. And I'm sorry that it took 8 years for them to finally bring this
Yes,
game, and
crazy.
you have been waiting on it and anticipating, and so have I. And you feel that they have ruined your Metroid, but they haven't. For those people who
Oh, it
canceled their
still feels like
pre-orders,
Metroid.
it still feels like Metroid and beyond. Yeah, I said it.
And it kind of reminds me, and then we can close on this note if you don't have anything else to add. It reminds me too of Metro Prime 3. And contrary to what the internet, specifically Twitter, would have you believe, Metroid Prime 3 is indeed the least popular out of the Metroid Prime trilogy, but it
Correct.
is by no means a bad game. Don't let anybody gaslight you into believing that Metroid Prime 3 was just so hated and so divisive. Yes, people had their little issues with it, like they do with any other game, but it was by no means like a flop. Let's not do this.
And I
Let's not
plug.
do this. Let's not do this. I was there. I was in college when Metro Prime 3 came out, and I was on forums during that time. And most of the people who had issues with it talked about just how easy and linear it was. Sure, some people did have issues with the NPCs talking to them, but it was not as many as these losers, and I will say that I don't care what you say, these losers on Twitter would have you believe. It has a 90 Metacritic score. You will not make me believe that that game was a flop. I don't care. Anyway, so
Exactly.
to
Hey,
those of
Nia,
you guys, hmm,
I wanna plug someone else. You can obviously you can go on YouTube and just try to find videos of Metroid Prime 3, but recently Super Metal Day played through the entire game.
yes, he did.
Uh, so you can go. I watched a little bit of his channel thanks to you, Nia, because you told me about it. If you're curious, what was Metroid Prime 3 like? I skipped it. I don't know what it was like. Go check out Super Metal Day's videos of him playing Metroid Prime 3, and you can see for yourself there was chatter, there was NPCs, there
Yep,
was Federation Force.
yep.
All of that stuff was there. So I don't want to hear it. Oh, they're messing up Metroid. No,
And
not
not
at all.
only that, as a person who did play Metroid Prime 3, There was a lot of chatter, there was a lot of exposition in some parts, but once those parts were over, it was still regular, isolating, solitary. Samus in her own suit, looking at her own reflection, Metroid.
Facts.
Anyway, so I say all of that to say, if you played Metroid Prime 3, this is a continuation of Metroid Prime 3. It allows you to interact with other characters, but you still have your moments to just be Samus by yourself. So take that how you want it. A lot of people were mad at me on Twitter because I used the word posers, and I don't take it back. Because if you are a Metroid lover and you claim to love Metroid, you would be able to see the subtext of where this franchise was going. You would listen to the series producer Kensuke Tanabe, who had said he wants to delve further into the Galactic Federation, and he wanted to tell a story about Silos. He said that. So if you have a problem with the Prime series and the direction, that's fine. You're allowed to feel how you want. But let's not be disingenuous and pretend like there wasn't a precedent that was already set for the direction of the game. That's all I'm saying. I don't care if you don't like it, but if you claim to be a Metroid person and you played all these Metroid games, then you will be able to see this is just a continuation of. Anyway, that's all I gotta say about it. But I enjoyed the demo. I enjoyed what I played. I can't wait to play the full version, and I especially can't wait to play Fury Green. That part looks so beautiful in the overview. Can't wait to see it for myself on my TV. And
And
that's
I
all I
agree.
gotta say on that. Anything else, Keith, before we get up out of here?
uh, I I approve this message. I agree with everything you just said. You can't be a real Metroid fan as how you say his name, Brebe, in the comment
Breve.
section,
Breve
as he
said anyone
said,
crying is not a Metroid fan.
and I agree with him as well. This is going to be a fantastic experience. We've waited long enough. Like you, I enjoyed the demo, and I can't wait to get it home. I've already got it pre-ordered, and yeah, and y'all know I'm gonna be posting. If you follow me on Twitter, I'm gonna be posting on Twitter. You're gonna be posting on. Everybody's gonna be posting. We all gonna share our experiences, and let's build this Metro community back up the right way.
The right way, exactly. And I want to clarify some things because I know that y'all like to be stupid on the internet. Nobody said you couldn't like Miles McKenzie. Nobody said
Right,
that. You don't
right,
have to like Miles McKenzie. But if you claim to be a Metroid fan and you claim to be one who's been paying attention, you would already know this is where the series is headed based off of previous games and the words of Kensuke Tanabe himself. And I feel like, who am I as a fan to tell Kensuke Tanabe he can't do what he want to do with his series? It's his series. Who am I
right.
to say he can't say what he want to say or do what he want to do with it? It's his series. I could either enjoy his vision or I could just not play it. And I'm choosing to enjoy his vision. Now, if it comes out and it's garbage, I'm gonna let y'all know it's garbage. But for the time being, it doesn't seem like it's gonna be a bad game. That's it.
Right.
All right, peace out, y'all.